fall time on Union Pacific's Provo Subdivision between Provo, Utah and Helper, Utah. While train traffic has been declining on the Provo Subdivision, there have been some action to keep the rails alive. We begin on Sunday, September 14th, 2025 in Springville, Utah as Amtrak number 5 blasts by on Main Track 2. Later on September 16th, 2025, we find ourselves at Ironton, Utah as the loaded CSCM VAN, a loaded BNSF coal train coming into the Utah Railway Yard. Although we missed the head end of the train, we still managed to catch the rear of the train with two BNSF ES44 ACs and a very rare BNSF SD70 Mac shoving the train into the yard. This train originated in Spring Creek, Wyoming and is bound for the mines of Valmy, Nevada, next to Elko, Nevada. Later that afternoon, BNSF 8576 West leads a very long Denver to Provo manifest through Springville, Utah on Main Track number 1. Days later, on the evening of September 26, 2025, we catch Amtrak number 5, the westbound California Zephyr, on Main Track 2. This crossing is one of very few that still have a mechanical bell, this one being a Modern Industries mechanical bell. Earlier in the day on September 26, 2025, the BNSF HPVODEN, also known as the Provo to Denver Manifest, rolls by in Springville on Main Track. AMTK number 164, also known as Amtrak's Phase 4 Heritage Unit, leads Amtrak California Zephyr number 5. On September 28, 2025, AMTK number 6, the eastbound California Zephyr highballs Springville with AMTK number 71 leading the way. The crew reported a loose horse near the tracks, just a couple miles west.
Alright, 698.01 loose horse, over. Just heard your mic, yep, 698.0. 698.0. I'm leaving it out the last you a call. Got a horse. Keep hearing your mic open.
Later that afternoon, UP 6178 East leads a light engine move back to Helper, Utah. This train helped a loaded oil train get up the Soldier Summit grade and into Provo. In Union Pacific's Provo, Utah yard, UP 1616, the Abraham Lincoln unit, was helping a yard switcher. This was a very rare moment to have a commemorative locomotive helping a yard switching train. UP 1616 would later lead a local going down to Lindell, Utah, but was unable to catch it. As UPY 637, a GP 15-1, leads the switching movements, watch as the unlikely duo switches around the yard. Later in the evening, AMTK number 5, the westbound California Zephyr, takes charge and highballs Springville on main track number 2. This train also has 3 P-42 DCs taking the way. September 28th, 2025 would be a very busy train day, especially in the afternoon. BNSF's Provo to Denver manifest with BNSF 9154 and SD70 Ace on the lead takes charge and heads east through Springville, Utah, with a horn show from the crew. With a clear signal on Main 1, UP 2560 East with a shave and a haircut leads the eastbound MPVPV, a daily mixed freight train that goes down to Helper, Utah. Struggling to make track speed up the hill in Springville, Utah, UP 6174 East leads the train OSJWU bound for Wellington, Utah. This is an empty oil train. With dynamic brakes screaming throughout town, BNSF 9093 West leads a very short Denver to Provo manifest in the golden hour sunset. It's October now, and on October 3rd, 2025, a very short Provo to Denver manifest passes main track number 2 in Spanish Fork, Utah. Later that night, Amtrak 5 rolls by Springville. This Amtrak number 5 has AMTK number 164, the Phase 4 Heritage Unit, trailing second. As the growls of GE prime movers get closer and closer, the BNSF Provo Denver heads east on main track number 1, battling the grade up to the canyon. Amtrak 181A General Electric P42DC leads Amtrak number 5, the westbound California Zephyr, towards Provo, Utah on its journey westward to Emeryville, California. In high throttle and an all SD70 ACE consist, BNSF 8484 East leads the daily Provo to Denver manifest underneath an overpass, which makes the ground shaking sound even louder. MRL number 4310 and SD70 ACE is third out.
8484, Oriental B2, line lock alarm over.
Okay. I said for you to zero start at Oriental, or maybe you make some of the hand over. No, he said. Total
With beautiful skies above, UP 6851 leads the eastbound MPVPV Manifest on its way to Helper, Utah. Just about to its destination, BNSF 5639 West leads the daily Denver to Provo Manifest. On the evening of October 5th, 2025, AMTK number 15 and AMTK number 204 West lead the daily Amtrak number 5, the California Zephyr, on its way to Emeryville, California. AMTK number 15, the P42DC in charge of this train, has a beautiful K5LA horn and can be heard through On October 6, 2025, we would find ourselves with a special treat. BNSF 4455, a -944CW, leads the Provo to Denver manifest with a very fouled up K3LA horn and another -9 trailing, in full throttle in notch 8. BNSF 4455 East, Highballs Springville on main track number 1. A few hours later, UP 6851 East leads the daily MPVPV, a manifest that goes down to Helper, Utah. With the 2 units powering the train, only one seems to be online, which is the UP 6851. As the sun is setting and in notch 8, UP 5344 East leads the train OSJXP that is bound for Wellington, Utah. With all units on the train being GEES 44s, the rumble underneath the bridge is amazing. October 7th, 2025. Screaming in Notch 8 and accelerating on main track number 1, UP 5452 East leads the train OSJWU bound for Wellington, Utah.
Train over.
This is March Operation Access between Security 701 and Security 699. Maintain
Shortly after the UP 5452 East, BNSF 9108 East leads the daily Provo to Denver manifest, this time with all SD70 aces and a very short train. In dynamic braking, BNSF 6243 West leads the Denver to Provo manifest almost to its destination. Third out is an MRL SD70 Ace. The next day on October 8th, 2025, BNSF 9108 East leads the daily Provo to Denver manifest with a lot of power. As darkness falls upon us in Springville, Utah, Amtrak number 5 glides through Springville, Utah. AMTK number 164, dressed in Amtrak's Phase 4 heritage paint, trails second with Amtrak number 60 leading. Shortly after 2 p.m. on October 9th, 2025, UP 7258 West leaves the train OWUSJ bound for St. James, Louisiana on Union Pacific's Provo Subdivision. The shearing echoes of UP 7258's horn and Nathan Airchime K3HL can be heard coming at us. This train would have mid-train swing helpers that will get the train over Soldier Summit. They will be cut off at Provo, Utah and sent back to Helper, Utah, where they are stationed. This train will go to the Provo, Utah yard where a crew change will happen and the helpers will get cut off the train and sent back the other way, before ultimately departing Provo and heading west. A diverging clear is given to the BNSF 6379 East, meaning that they will cross up from main track number 2 to main track number 1. We are positioned right at the Springville crossovers. BNSF 6379 is leading the Provo to Denver manifest. Later in the afternoon, the wind picks up as UP 6178 East leads the helper set that goes back down to Helper. This train was previously helping a loaded oil train get up the heavy grade at Soldier Summit and was taken off in Provo, Utah. A thunderstorm roars across the central Utah skies. In the pouring rain and thunder and lightning, you can hear the shrills of a Nathan air chime P5 horn in the distance. The train in question is BNSF 5808 West, a Denver to Provo manifest that is almost to its destination. Currently being one of two BNSF ES44 ACs to have a P5 horn, BNSF 5808 leads the Denver to Provo through the rain. The Modern Industries mechanical bell on this crossing makes the sound a whole lot better as well. We wake up with some clouds on the morning of October 10th, 2025. Amtrak number 6, the eastbound California Zephyr, heads east on main track number 1. AMTK number 164, a GE P42DC with Amtrak's Phase 4 Heritage livery, displays its vibrant colors with a shave and a haircut from the engineer. The Modern Industries mechanical bell begins to ring for the Center Street Railroad crossing in Springville, Utah. BNSF 5873 East is the one triggering it, with a very underpowered Provo Denver with only 2 engines on the head end and 2 engines on the rear, all screaming in Notch 8 and will barely make it through the canyon grade. October 11th, 2025 would be the last day we would film on the Provo Subdivision, although with more to come. Trains would pick up in the afternoon on October 11th, 2025. Utah Railway number 3002, a GP40-3, leads the westbound LPVPVJ, also formerly known as the H Utah J. This train runs from the Utah Railway Junction, also known as URJ, by Helper, Utah, westbound, and it goes eastbound the same route. After the Utah Railway 3002 West cleared the block of Springville, UP 6178 East leads a help set back down to Helper, as before it helped a UP loaded oil train and it was taken off at Provo, Utah. Shortly after the UP 6178 East, BNSF 9108 takes its turn eastbound. This train will take its turn up main track number 2. Montana Rail Link, also known as MRL number 4310 and SD70A, serves as one of the two rear DPUs as it throttles uphill. With a gorgeous sunset taking place in UP 6851 East throttling hard, UP 6851 leads the MPVPV manifest to Helper, Utah. This is the last catch of the day.